be honest with you? I didn't always know how to study the Bible. I didn't always know what was happening in the Bible either. And I'm a preacher's kid and I grew up in the church. And my logic when I was younger was, okay, you don't understand this version. Maybe you need to try another version to make sense of it. And it still didn't work. I still was asking God, what am I supposed to do with this? What is happening? Why are these characters' names so difficult? Who is this person in this city and what does it got to do with me? If you've had similar thoughts, similar grievances, similar confusions when you read the Bible, you're not alone. I actually want to help you know how to study it effectively. Before we get into how to study the Bible effectively, I want us to think about the verse, Psalms 119, 105. And it reads, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I love this verse because it reminds me that God didn't ask me to have the whole path figured out. He said, just take the next step. Just take the next step. Before we get into how you should study the Bible, I need y'all to know I'm an English teacher. So as being an English teacher, it's actually giving me a lot of revelation and wisdom for how to study the Bible. And the first thing is this. Do not look at the Bible as this big ancient text. Think about the Bible as a story. It's a story with characters, with a plot, with a theme, multiple themes, with lessons for us, all of the things inside. It's a story. It's a book. It's not, just something for Sunday, something for the church. No, it's a book. Read it like a book. Genesis is the start. Revelation is the end. Everything in between is what is going on to get us to the end of the story. It has a plot. It has structure. It has all the literary devices. It's literature. It's historical literature too. It's a book. Now, when we go through the Bible, one thing I noticed is that when I first was trying to read the Bible, I was trying to be real deep. I was trying to be profound like the pastors, the preachers. I was like, let me be deep like them. How did it get there? And baby, me being profound got me lost. I knew something was wrong. And as an English teacher now, I realized I never really observed the text. And that's the first thing. You got to go through observation. What are you seeing in the text? Who's talking? Where are they? What's going on? What's just happening? Like, can we just get a general understanding of what's going on? Like, that's what I would do in my first read, is just observe the text. I'm not trying to get deep with the text. I'm not trying to apply the text yet. I'm just trying to observe it. And once I realized I needed to observe, the word started opening up to me. I got a little bit more clarity of where I was, what was going on, who are my characters, etc. And then that got me to my second part. I'm a nosy person. So I interrogate the text as an English teacher and I tell my students, go ahead and question the text. I question the text after I observe to get to my interpretation. Why is this happening? Where is this happening? What is the time period going on? All these questions is asking about context. If you're going to study the Bible, you have to understand the Bible was not written to you. It was not written for you. You inherited it. It was for a group of people in a certain time period. Therefore, they're talking a certain way. They're talking about certain customs. You need context to understand their customs. You need context to understand their language. You need context to understand why they're doing this certain type of ritual, why they're talking like this. What does this law mean? The context matters for your understanding. So you start to ask the questions, who are we talking to? Who is the author and why are they writing like this? Were they writing multiple books? How do they talk? Why do they use this word versus this word, right? And when I stopped reading the Bible like random verses, I started reading it like a story God was intentionally unfolding. So when I got the context, I was like, oh, that makes more sense now, because I'm trying to place 21st century context on something that happened BC. That wasn't going to work. Jewish laws did not match to modern day American laws. They weren't the same. So I had to get context. I had to get better understanding so I can see what the big picture was. Now, after I done got my context, after I done done my observations, now I could get to the nitty gritty. Why does this matter for me? God, how do I apply this today? I know what you did for then. I know what you were saying then. But how do I apply it now? And that's the part that saved me. I used to finish a chapter feeling overwhelmed, like, am I supposed to change my whole life tonight? Am I supposed to fix this today? Because I don't know if this is going to work if I try to fix this today. I need some time. But God was never asking for that. He was just asking you to be obedient. Be obedient. What is one thing you can obey from what you read? Don't say, oh, I need to become like this character. Baby, you ain't going to be able to be that character overnight. You might not even be able to be that character in a year. Just try to obey one new principle. Try to apply one new principle. Because when we're reading the Bible, some people like to say it's a self-help guide. I don't disagree. But it's something that's supposed to transform you. It's supposed to help you to live better, more aligned with God. So if you want to be more aligned with God, you have to allow yourself to obey one thing you've read. What is one lesson you can take away? What is one thing you can apply the next day? What's the one thing you can apply for the next week? Sometimes it's forgiveness. Sometimes it's rest. Sometimes it's honesty. Sometimes it's actually silence. And once you realize that the word becomes alive, it becomes alive when you actually walk it out. So you're reading it at first. You're observing it at first. When you apply it is when you start to see the living word. And that's what you need to do when you study the Bible. Go through observations, go through interpretations, and then you get to your application part. And that's the part that you walk away feeling like you can apply the word. You can become the word. You can be the word. Studying the Bible is not about being impressive. You don't have to be profound to study the Bible. Studying the Bible is about showing up with an open heart. It's not going to make sense at first. It might not make sense the second time. And sometimes you need to study the Bible with groups, with other people, because to hear their perspective of what they're reading as well and how they apply it will also help you. So, if this helped you feel less intimidated by scripture, stay connected. I teach faith, discipleship, and spiritual foundations on this channel.